I'm Sue Hitzmann. I'm the creator of Melt, and I was on the Rachael show and we talked about the 50-second facelift. I'm going to show you the 5-minute facelift so that you really get the biggest fill effect. And one of the techniques in Melt is the hand treatment, and it's fully dialogued in the kit, but I'm going to show you the 3 quick ones to do, and this is going to draw fluids from your hands up to your face. So you interlace your hands around the ball and you create these subtle gliding motions. So this is going to prepare the tissue so that as we do the next techniques we get the biggest fill effect. So our hands are loaded with stress, and so if we stimulate this tissue here we can drive the fluids from our arms up to our face. Then you take the ball in between your thumb pads and you create that same light circular motion that we did on air, and once you do the shear, this is what stimulates the cells and creates that fluid exchange that we're looking for, and then you compress and wait. Then on a table, you're going to rinse the forearm, and this is what drives the fluids back up to the face. So you go from your fingertips up to your elbow, and you can create that nice one-directional motion, and this is what draws the fluids up to your skull. And it's connective tissue's a 3-dimensional system, so as you do this, it's actually creating a fluid exchange throughout your whole body, and it not only helps with wrinkles and sagging skin, but it also helps to alleviate neck and jaw pain. So this is a great one to do. And then when you're done with that, you'll create a little bit of friction. And once you do this, we're going to use the roller, and I'm going to show you the full facelift, and watch what happens to my face. If you thought using the ball was cool, watch what you do when you create the full effect. So I'm going to go onto the floor and I'll show you another quick technique. What you're going to start with is a basic rest assess, and you're going to lie on your back, and we're going to do what we call a neck turn. So you're going to turn your head right and left 3 to 4 times, and I want you to assess 2 things. If you feel like you turn your head more to the right or more to the left, and I also want you to notice if you have any pain to turn your head when you're in a resting position. So just remember what it feels like, because you might actually get a release after doing the techniques. So I want you to take the roller, and this is a soft roller, this is a Melt roller, so you can see it's nice and squishy. And you're going to use that roller, you're going to place it right along the base of your skull, right underneath your ear, and you just allow the tissue to adapt by just relaxing and taking some focused breaths, and then you create small circular motions. And the secret is, once you create the circular motions, you want to sit here and wait for a moment. You want to give the tissue a second to adapt. So connective tissue acts like a sponge, and so if you work the fluid into the sponge and then you squeeze it for a second, when you let it go, that's how you get the fill effect. So now the second place that we worked was at the jaw. So you're going to bring the roller just below your cheekbone, so the roller's about here on my jaw, and I'm going to do that same thing, these little small motions, little circular motions. And then the bigger movement on this one is that once you create the direct shear, you're going to wait and you're going to open and close your jaw. And you do that 3 or 4 times. And same thing, you just wait. Just give the tissue a moment to adapt. So again, it's like squeezing the sponge, so when we let it go, we get the fill effect. The third area is at the temple. You're going to do the same thing. You're just going to create small circular motions. And same thing, I'm going to wait here for a second. And now the secret is that you have to reverse the process. So now we want to draw some of the old fluids out of the tissue so that we can actually plump it back up. So we go back to the jaw, we create a couple of small circles, we wait again, and then we come back onto the base of the skull, and you create that same fluid exchange. And then you just sit there and you wait for a moment and give the tissue a second to adapt. Now I'm going to have you look at my face to see if you can actually see the difference on this side before I go to the other side. And what I want you to notice is the shape of my lip, and I also want you to notice the lift of the brow. Before you try this or any self-treatment technique, make sure that you consult your physician before you begin. This is a quick technique you can do every single day. It's safe and effective for everybody. If you want more information, you can go to meltmethod.com.